Decorating a small bento cake like this is a great way to start with cake decorating. Whether you're new to cake decorating or you've got some experience, this tutorial is packed full of a lot of information. So to get started, I'm applying some buttercream onto a piece of parchment paper which is sitting on top of a cake board. And then I'm going to use the buttercream to decorate the cake. So I start off by spreading the buttercream on the top, smoothing it with an angled palette knife. In this video, I'm using Italian meringue buttercream, but you can use any type of buttercream that you find easy to work with. Once you've decorated the top, then you want to apply buttercream to the sides of the cake and then smoothing it, make sure all the cake is covered, and then you're going to finally use a small smoother to smoothing the buttercream. The beauty about bento box cake is that because you are going to be putting it inside a box, you don't have to work on making the sides perfect. So this is another reason why this sort of cake is perfect for cake decorating beginners, because the style of this cake will hide any imperfection. So don't you worry. Once you've smoothened the side, then you just want to use your smoother just to gently pull off the excess bit of buttercream that is sticking out at the top. Be careful not to scrape too much, otherwise you'll ruin your nice neat edge and expose too much cake. Now, because we're going to be decorating the cake, again, you don't have to work on making it absolutely perfect. The decorations are going to hide your imperfection and brighten up your cake. Next, I'm going to show you how to pipe simple flowers. So for this, you need a flower nail, you need a piping bag, and you need a petal piping tip. So for this video, I'm using a 150 Wilton piping tip. Snip the end of your piping tip enough that the piping tip fits in snugly. You don't want to make the opening too big, otherwise your piping tip will fall out. So fill your piping bag with some buttercream. I'm using the same buttercream what I used with the cake. If you don't know how to fill in your piping bag with a mess-free technique, then I will link a video where I show you a super easy technique of how to fill your piping bag. Now we're going to start with the piping. We're piping directly onto the flower nail. You start off by making a small blob. This is going to be like your foundation on which you are going to pipe the petals of your flower. So the first thing you do is you just make a small semicircular piping. That's going to be the petal. And the next one should be slightly overlapping the first one. This is a slow gradual process. So you're just going to build it up. You're going to keep piping one petal, short circular arcs, making sure they overlap each other, and then you continue to do that as you build up the flower until you have a nice fluffy flower. Now I'm going to just show you me making a couple of these so that you can see quite clearly the different techniques. So here is the first flower finished. Now we're going to take this off the flower nail onto the cake. You need a piping flower scissors. It is specially designed so that you can lift the pipe flower off the flower nail directly onto your cake. It does take a little bit of getting used to learn how to use the scissors. If you're struggling, what you can do is place a parchment paper on top of the flower nail and pipe on that. But if you can, get used to how to get the hang of using the piping flour scissors, because it's super quick, easy, and will save you time and extra ingredients. So again, similarly, I'm making the same flower. As you can see, I'm just making semicircular petals overlapping, and you can see the central blob, and you just keep doing this until you have a full flower. You can make a small bud, or you can make it as big as you want. I think the actual limit is the width of your piping nail. Eventually you will run out of piping nails. If you want to build a really massive flower, then what, like I said earlier, you can put some parchment paper on the flower nail, which is bigger than the nail, and then you have more space to pipe your flowers. And you can decorate in many different ways. You can use toppers like I've used. You can use fondant toppers, whatever you want to decorate your bento cake. And then all you've got to do is assemble your cake, put it into your bento cake box. If you don't want to buy expensive bento cake box, you should check out the video where I show you how to make your own DIY bento cake box. Till next time, home bakers, happy baking!